Joe Budden said he's tired of these old rappers doing these antics, trying to remain relevant, but their bars ain't really there. So what I want to ask you is, what is it about when you get, we don't want the youth to have the rap, but as we can see, it's obvious when you get to a certain age, for some reason, it just ain't there no more. We've seen that several times this year. Talk to me about being at a certain age and still being crazy with your skills in hip-hop and this culture. This is our culture. This is the biggest culture in the world, the biggest show in town right now on planet Earth. But we're trying to figure out how to remain relevant and allow the older gentlemen and sisters in hip-hop to be successful and to be passionate in this sport. What's wrong with the brothers and sisters out here now, and they just don't have it no more at a certain age?
Well, first and foremost, we have to identify the fact that there are eras inside of hip-hop. Eras, right? What some of the older rappers are aware of is that there's been a change, a shift in an era. So the new era that we find ourselves in, both inside of the quote-unquote hip-hop game, the movie game, even the sports game, is that there's a new economy on the scene. And that new economy is not just about, you know, how much money you make. This new economy is about how many people are paying attention to you. This is called the attention economy. So you can have a great album and you can have all of the rhyming skills in the world. But if the world is not watching you, if they're not paying with their eyeballs, right? Because of the mechanics that the music industry has recently implemented based off of streams and based off of how many people are watching you, based off of views, based off of the stickiness of your brand, the retention rate. They got all of the metrics and all of the analytics, and we, the ordinary people, don't really get to hear it, but those artists in those meetings, they're breaking out all of the metrics and all of these numbers and all of these, and you could be like, it don't matter. No, it matters when it comes to that bag, because what? They're quantifying value now of your brand based off of those metrics, based off of the fact if somebody could retain attention to you. So it's not even about the first week sales anymore, right? It's about the first week's tweets. A lot of things like that. And
there's always been the saying, controversy sells. That's always been around.
I know.
The spectacle always got far in hip-hop. You know,
no doubt. No doubt. But what we're seeing now is what I'm saying, the fact that there was a change in an era, or the change of guards, and the hip-hop or the game was handed to teenagers. I don't know if it was a coup d'etat, but something happened and the game was handed to some young children, SoundCloud rappers, clout chasers, not mixtape rappers, world star rappers. You know what I'm saying? SoundCloud rappers.
YouTube rappers now Instagram rappers.
YouTube rappers and Instagram rappers. So these people know how to go viral. The new generation, the youth who are more digitally inclined than their elders.
Yeah, I mean, primarily what he's saying is that once technology shifted, once hip-hop became a digital format and no longer became a celestial, or no, I'm bugging, I'm saying celestial, I mean terrestrial CDs and things of that nature, right? The artists that we're speaking of come from that era where they were sound scan artists, and that's what they were dealing with, the metrics, dealing with, look, I'm pushing CDs and stuff like that. That's analog at this point. That conversation is analog. So you hear the artists that were caught up in that conversation, their music kind of like is analog as well. Whereas digital rappers, you know what I'm saying, that understand those metrics, the way that the game shifted and it went into streaming, they knew how to jug that particular platform to say, look, you know what I mean? You know, it's melody driven, right? As we're listening to what's the dude's name? Juice WRLD. I've never seen a video, don't even know what he looked like, heard the song a million times. You dig what I'm saying? So what is it that he understands? SoundCloud. What is it that he understands about, you know, how to capture an audience and connect with it? That it's becoming somewhat like requested on the radio over and over, or played on the radio. You dig what I'm saying? But it hits in a different way. So we don't even understand how this thing is happening. How do songs become terrestrial in this particular modern day? Where does it bubble from? Because it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? How does a little Uzi Vert pop up and they got 3 million views on SoundCloud and you've never heard about them? You dig what I'm saying? So we're dealing with different pools, right? Appetites are being created in different places, and then they're being introduced to a market that is not differentiating and saying, oh, this is for the 35 to 45-year-old, or this is for the 19 to 28-year-old. No, everybody's in the pool. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's in the pool, and they just throwing the shit in there. So,
you know, here you have these super viral younger generation artists who are doing the Tekashis of the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about his numbers, his metrics, his followers, the wave that he represents, meaning the potential market that he represents. So Trippie Reds and whatnot, they represent a market. They come with a whole market attached to them because the industry is looking at them, or the older rappers and whatnot. They're like, yo, this is a whole new, brand new fan base. So if I attach myself to these younger artists, the same way that these younger artists were starving, and they, you know what I mean, their dreams were to attach themselves to us. You know what I mean? What we're gonna do is we're gonna leverage our celebrity in exchange for their demographics with the Nicki, and the perfect example of that, the marriage that makes sense, is Fifi.
That just get a young dude and ride his wave. That's what you're saying?
What I'm saying, that was if you're gonna use case study, that would be a perfect example that would be a perfect example in a perfect case study to show you how one of the older rappers who were trying to find their way, trying to find a footing, trying to appeal to their demographics, Chun-Li and everything. Then what she decided to say was, I'm going to jump on a remix from one of these new kids who's controversial, who has a following, who has a wave, who hasn't been embraced by he's been embraced by one of the older rappers, 50 Cent, which is almost like a Twitter verification, because they say it's almost like an industry stamp. You're safe now to embrace. I'm not gonna put my whole shit on the line, but if he's stamping him, I'm gonna jump in here and do something with him. Now that song exploded. She gets back into favor with these younger crowds who was initially riding with Cardi. You know what I mean? And then she wiggles her way, and now she's back. She's on her way. You know, I mean, after that chess move, she's on top of that game. According to not me, but you know. But anyway.
Now you guys are pretty thorough in your history and understanding of hip hop. I want to know, and we've talked, you know, since I started my YouTube channel again up a couple of years ago. I think our first show was about, was it Meek Mill or was it about Meek? Do you remember the first? I think it was about
Bobby
Meek. Right?
Shmurda.
Bobby Shmurda. No, Bobby Shmurda. Yeah, Bobby Shmurda. Yeah. When you see 2018, when you see the biggest battle happening right now between MGK and Eminem. Are you impressed by it? Are you upset by it? In terms of the culture and what it means to hip-hop culture, when you see that and you see Eminem and you see MGK and the world, I think Eminem's his response track was the biggest, had the biggest numbers ever in YouTube history of a music.
Right?
I don't know if it wasn't according to lie. This is according to the numbers, the analytics. But what's your take on that? The Eminem versus MGK.
I have no take on that.
All right, Blue, what's your take on that?
I mean, again, I think that it is it's the perfect dichotomy of what we're talking about. The clash of, you know what I'm saying, eras and cultures or what have you, where the fan has now become, or the stan has now become the competitor. You know what I'm saying? What did Ross say? When idols turn rivals.
Right.
You feel me? So you have the older rapper Eminem looking to find his way, looking to find a sound, looking to find an audience, trying to find his footing in his digital realm. You know what I'm saying? And looking crazy in the meantime doing it, right? And then you have somebody who seemingly came up off of this person as a fan, saw the slippage, you dig what I'm saying, started poking, and got what he was looking for in the form of a response. Because his response was what? Immediate. Yeah. Like he had the shit waiting. Right? He had a video and everything.
Right. Shot,
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cook him. You know what I'm saying? Eminem had to go back into his bag and get back into his teenager persona in order to respond to this dude, because he understood, look, I'm not speaking to my audience, I have to speak to this guy's audience, and this guy's audience is younger than me. So he had to get back into Slim Shady mode.
Right.
And get, change the whole nasal passage and everything up. So it's telling about how artists are viewing themselves in the marketplace to say, look, how can I create a product that sticks? Because the last thing that I want to do is perceived to be as old or out of touch. You dig what I'm saying? Artists can't even be themselves these days. They're caught in a very precarious place.
But let me, because you said you didn't have a comment on this, so let me. Now you got a comment, okay?
Yeah. I call that the Benny Blanco theory. What we're seeing take place. You know what I mean? That it's a whole folder of the Benny Blancos, but he's definitely one of them. You could use the case that we were using just now, the case study about the older artists finding a newer artist and doing what? Embracing them rather than critiquing them, rather than trying to throw all of the mumble rappers under the bus. Maybe if you would have reached out to one of them who were trying to reach out to you, it was their dream to want to work with you. But now you try to come out because you're coming with your lyrics, and then all of them are laughing, and the people who follow them and rock with them are laughing because they're like, yo, I don't rock with them because of their lyrics. You don't understand why we rock with them. You don't understand what this music does to us. How about your shit is wild boring with all of that dictionary trying to rhyme words, thesaurus rap, and this dude is just harmonizing, and he's so melodic and mumbling on the beat, and that shit is, I'm in my bag. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He's cooking. It feels like dope in my ears.
Blue. Okay.
Go ahead. But
I don't want to misquote you. You said battle rap to you was one of the most complicated things or the most advanced form. What did you say? Because I got a question about that.
Right.
I said when we look at the
the art of
right, the quadrivium, you know, rhetoric, logic, mathematics, arithmetic, and all of that. The utilization of all of those elements you can find in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So battle rap to me is the highest form of liberal arts, which makes it the highest form of masonry to me in real time.
So when you see this, does it take away from the fact that both artists are white, or as somebody that so thorough in your understanding, do you appreciate it, or does the whiteness extract from your appreciation?
It's a necessary asterisk on the legacy of the culture, quote unquote, because this is an individual who has been christened as the god of hip hop, or the rap god, by his peers, not only the audience, and he's never been challenged.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's never been challenged by any of the greats or the underlings. The only one that we can speak of has been Zeno. Shout out to Zeno. I'm not taking no shots.
Everybody say he killed Jay-Z on his own record. Remember that? Remember that?
It said he killed Jehovah.
Yes.
Okay. How can you be the you can only be the rap god by defeating the god MC? You dig what I'm saying? So hypothetically, he had, you know, shined on the god MC, and now he pops up and he's the rap god. That title has never been challenged. Yet in the same field, in the same genre of the you know, modality of where people say, you know what I'm saying, the white man is the devil, but this man is the rap god. You dig what I'm saying? And that's never been challenged by people who pride themselves with taking heads.
That's interesting.
And having liquid swords.
All the greats got challenged.
How about that?
Hove got challenged. Drake has been getting challenged the past few years, and he's seeing what when you wear the crown, you seeing what goes. But Eminem, that's really interesting.
Heavy is the head.
Yeah, heavy.
It wears the crown.
Eminem never.
The only heaviness that he experiences was his own demons.
That's right.
Right. This devil's his own demons. He lost to himself. He lost himself. Right? He crippled himself based on his addictions.
Yeah, based on his vices.
Right.
Based on.
But he was left alone. Almost to the point where he was pitied. So again, the Messiah complex has reared its ugly head to Jesus Christ's narrative in hip hop, because he's viewed, he can only, right? They're saying that the rap god, or god period, can only be white. So that shit feels so good to them. It feels so right. Remember, this is the same genre that introduced the Jesus piece into the game. You feel me? And they didn't homogenize him and make him African with dreads and shit like that. They made him chalk white.
Yes, straight Caesar bourgeois.
So,
you know.
So it was necessary. And MGK said, "What? I'm the rap devil."
The rap devil.
And they did it all during Neptune retrograde. And Neptune, if for the people that are not astrologically, you know what I'm saying, versed or what have you, Neptune is dealing with Pisces. Pisces is dealing with Poseidon. Poseidon is dealing with Hades. You know what I'm saying? Hades is dealing with the devil or what have you. So it was a very appropriate time when all of this popped off. It was the worst week ever for white rappers.
I was about to say that, you know, that week that them two were going at each other and clashing, that, in my humble opinion, was one of the worst weeks for white rappers on paper, on the calendar. You had Post Malone almost dying like twice. 3 times. His car got T-boned. The airplane almost crashed. You had G-Eazy, MGK, and Eminem going at it, white on white, criming on each other, right? Battling each other, going at it, dissing each other, having public spats. Then you had the overdosing, the opiate, the death of Mac Miller, which was rumored to be an opiate overdose, which sheds light on the bigger picture that we've been talking about on your show and other shows about the crisis that white males are going through in America. The same thing that Eminem represents, this whole crisis of anxiety, suicide, life, desperation, you know what I mean?
And drug addiction, exasperation of drugs during this particular time, again, like we said, of Neptune retrograde. And Neptune deals with music, Neptune deals with illusions, Neptune deals with drugs.
Yeah.
You feel me? So any overindulgence of drugs during that particular time, you you know, can lead to that depression. He was going through depression. You know, the real issue that he was dealing with was dealing with, you know, how can we say it? Lack of appreciation. That's a whole nother category. That's a whole nother show within itself.
Yes, he was suffering from that. And you know, look at the similarities between all of these white rappers that are quote unquote clashing. These are all of this man's kids. Eminem, they all coke rappers, they all dope head rappers, they all dope fiend rappers, tatted up, dope fiend rappers that are not all together. They're all broken people. MGK, tatted up, cokehead, dope head rapper, right?
Oh, the Yellow Wolf jumped in.
Mimicking the Yellow Wolf, cokehead, dope head, white trash.
Damn, what happened?
All suspected white supremacists probably, right? But maybe not Mac Miller, Mac head, cokehead, or dope fiend, tatted up. Rhyming like M. All of these is M children. So what? The emperor has no clothes. And his clones, because we did a show where we talked about that queen of soul, Aretha Franklin, and the fact that they try to clone us. And then Ariana Grande gets up there and you see a clone. And then they bring a clone, and the clone of the hip-hop genre, the one who studied us, the one who was able to study us, the whole genome, and he somewhat cracked the genome of hip-hop, was Eminem. He comes in as the first successful clone, and once he cloned it, he did what? He created offspring, and now you have all of these quote-unquote,
right?
It's flooded.
The body's flooded with white blood cells.
It's
after
in there.
the cancer soothed in.
After hip-hop is dead.
After hip-hop is dead.
It's flooded with white zombies, though. These are not this is not the typical.
You wouldn't say Eminem is hip hop though?
I would say that he represents. He came in the year of what? What year did he come in 2000? He came in post Biggie and Pac. If he's hip hop, he's a new form of hip hop. He was the hip hop that was allowed to exist after those towers fell.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? He was somebody who came in. He snuck in. And is he hip hop? Yes, he is a hip hop. He's a battle rapper.
Rap.
Huh? He's rap. That's what I'm saying. That's better. Thank you. Yes.
Hip hop is Cold Crush 4, Theodore, Breakout.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Gotta let the
You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Prize, 55. You know what I'm saying?
Let him know real quick. Hip hop is what?
Let him know.
Hip hop is KRS-One, Grandmaster Prize, Theodore, the Force MCs. People don't know about them. They think they only sung songs.
Exactly.
No,
Not
there
know
was
they battle
rappers.
rappers.
Breakout, the
Busy B.
55, Busy B, Kumo D, Busy B. What's his name? I'm kind of stuck right now because you know I am a little old, but nevertheless.
You get the point. Grandmaster Caz.
Grandmaster
So,
Caz,
hip hop,
4.1.
right?
Thank you, brother.
Five
Hip hop-
pillars.
No, just one more
You got-
thing,
you got
right?
more.
Hip hop is a nation of everything. Hip hop is graffiti, breakdancing.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Rapping. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Battling, doing things that
Fashion.
we used to do. You
Thank
feel
you.
what I'm saying?
So-
now, today's rap is, I don't understand it. It's good, it's cool. And you know what I'm saying? If you up with the time, you can understand it. But 9 times out of 10, everything sounds the same. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Change your flow.
So-
Don't get like everybody. Everybody got the same flow.
That's right.
We don't flow like that.
Crowded on individual, unique flows.
Thank you, brother.
Remember,
My name is Illboy Mike.
Illboy
Better known
Mike.
as Illmatic, not Nas Illmatic, but the real Illmatic.
Show 'em the
you
riff.
feel me? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I bling and I sing, but not only that, right?
all right, we doing it. Pete, thank you, King.
I'm original rock steady.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
A
Division
legend.
15, chapter 3. You know what I'm saying? Peace out to Zulu Nation. You feel me? Rock steady, and all the niggas that I did it with. You feel me?
No doubt.
One love.
So
Early, not
the
late.
edification of what we call hip hop, you have to be able to address the pillars of hip hop, the break dancer or the dancer. Eminem is not a dancer. The DJ, I don't know about no DJ. You know what I mean? The master of ceremony. He's a good rapper, but he's not the god of hip hop. He's not the king of hip hop.
Is he top five? Is he top five?
He's a good rapper. I'm saying hip hop. How we wear it, how we walk it, how we talk it. That's hip hop. You understand? They had Big Daddy Kane and them were dancing. He was dancing with Scoob and Scrap.
But look,
we also want to make sure, right, for the culture, that we do not minimize his contributions. Because like I said,
we won't do that.
he came in as a student, a methodical student. He studied the game. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to ascend at on a particular stage, like I said, where he was freestyling, right? He was battle rapping. He was freestyling and battle rapping, and I said that is the highest form.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? He earned his bones. You dig what I'm saying? But you know, he's a good rapper. I wouldn't say that he is a hip hop god.
Not top five.
He's not the rap god. To me, he's not. You know why? Because he had 3 good albums and he had 3 whack albums. So his legacy has kind of been tarred because I think that, you know, he was the introduction of drug-induced rap to say, look, was that him or was that the Oxys? You feel me?
So he
was it him or was it the Oxys? Like,
was it the Adderall?
Yeah, because the minute he went motherfucking sober,
multiple syllables. Was that the Addy, my nigga? Remember,
Aesthetic nihilism. That whole white boy thing that you saw took place. I need somebody to do the whole cosmological breakdown of that exact week. How is it that all of them came to the surface and all of this activity was going on in that group? You dig what I'm saying? Who's usually always in the, you know, they got their movements and whatnot, but they're not in the attention economy like that. They're not in the forefront of the attention economy where they're still talking about that. The rollout is still taking place. So I'm wary about giving my attention to certain people who are not really that relevant to me. MGK and Eminem, they're not relevant in my reality or what I'm doing in my culture, so I'm not really giving it, you know what I mean? Because I can't ignore what happened though, bro.
But nah, I
pay it sound fancy.
Not at all, not at all.
This was something that,
what I'm saying is, I'm breaking down what happened that week. And dude did get, you know what I mean? MGK did, you know, he did his thing. And like Blue said, he's never really been challenged. So, you know, it is what it is. But no disrespect to him.
Indeed. 5-10 years from now, if, you know, you turn on the TV and you see different cultures, if you see Asians battle rapping, white people battle rapping, some Indians battle rapping. Now. But on a larger scale.
Hold on. Flip battles. Go Google it. You talking 15 million on YouTube. Crazy numbers.
Yeah.
What's it? Flip battles?
Flip battles.
Like crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They already doing it.
Right,
damn.
continue though.
It's a wave.
Now, is there a problem with that? We see what happened with breakdancing, and you go to Asia, and they're crazy with the breakdancing, and we moved on from that. Do you think that's we're watching that happen in real time with battle rapping? Is that what's happening right now? We're getting ready to move on from it, and the other coaches are going to take control of that genre?
KOD. The white boys up in Canada running with it. They bended that. This is a late conversation. The Asians ran with it. The Russians running with it. Like,
he did Fight Club. That was he went on MTV.
I was in there with when what's his name, Jin?
With Jin and Serious Jones. Niggas took that shit around the world.
What year was that?
We took it around the world 2003, 2004. And already when we went to France, we went to England, we went to these places, they was battling in their own languages. So we would do the battle, like the main battle, but then we would always do a battle like in their language, and they was battling back then,
so
going
crazy.
Have you seen the Red Bull breakdancing challenges?
That's all over. And that was
like a stadium.
I was just having a conversation. We was having a conversation with somebody the other day. We was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and what they were telling us, that people appreciate the art of our shit going other countries. Yeah. Because the biggest breakdance is not here. That shit is in France. The biggest breakdance battle. It's not here. It's in France. The biggest graffiti shit. It's not here. It's in Europe.
But this is my thing. Dealing with the 5 pillars of hip hop. What happens when we take this rich culture and go into fertile soil? We do what? We plant seeds. So they went around. They went around the world and planted seeds. In what, 2003? This is before Smack went global. The Fight Club went global. They were taking a physical battle rap on tour. So whenever you go into fertile land and you plant seeds of the culture, the rich culture, because the rich culture is the culture of the now. This is not jazz. This is the culture of the now.
And once again, in gematria, hip hop's numbers what? 432, which means world. So it's already a global phenomenon. So when you put it in fertile soil, the soil has already been tilled. It's waiting for the seed.
Look, these are caretakers of what you said, Rich, what you said we left behind because we got so much other things to do. Well, guess what? Guess who?
From this turf.
From the Bronx.
From right here, the South Bronx, right on this turf is where that whole culture was born. It was sprouted. So when we put it down and the seeds are planted globally and internet, because now they could preserve it in that fertile soil when we're over here losing, we're being gentrified and pushed out and we're losing focus and we're trying to be something other than our greater selves. They're going to do what? They're going to be the custodians of culture, the curators of culture. So ironic that some of these same places, when you dig a little bit deeper, they're holding and they're caretaking and they're curating older culture of yours. So they've been holding it in their
They've done this before.
They've done this before. This ain't nothing new. This is nothing new. They know how you are so great and so magnificent and you're so magnanimous that you're always going to sleep.
In Asia, we got Osiris, we got Isis, we got Horus. Then you go over to Nigeria culture. You got Chango. You got all of the Yemaya, all of that. But then you go to Greece. You got Zeus. You got who else? All of they. Aphrodite's, Thor, which is Chango. Fucking then you go over to fucking Japan. They got Shinto. That's Chango. So and it's the same energy still moving around. It's still moving around through our music. It's a different name. What was prevalent throughout the whole world? That motherfucking drum. And that shit where it came from, Africa. That drum is everything. You gonna find it in all the cultures. And it signifies, whatever, the blessing that's coming, the point in the music. Like when we did it in Africa, it was to our shit. When they did it in Europe, it was to their shit. When they do it in fucking Japan and they hit that big ass, that's all the vibration. My niggas all the same shit. Hip hop is just the newest version of the shit, of the drum that's going all over. But it is
drum.
exactly. And everything along that come with it. Style.
It's the mechanical drum. It's the digital drum. Right? It's the Fruity Loop in the digital age.
Fruity Loop drum.
So y'all holding on to your wax and all of that stuff. Yeah. Y'all holding on to the going back. You're holding on to the analog. Oh, they took the drums out to school. Nigga, they gave you Fruity Loops. While you're complaining, Lex Luger, Southside. You know what I'm talking about? Brother Rich.
Speaking of white rappers, the top producer is a white producer, Murder Beats. Murder Beats. He did Fifi.
Okay, and
he co-produced Drake. One of his top #1 songs. He's like the hottest producer out right now,
no doubt.
In terms of #1.
And then you got 40, who works exclusively with Drake. So, like I said, this is a digital age. It's a lot different than what it was before. Yeah, coming off of Scott Storch, who he birthed that white producer wave. Remember, he was making them M's.
They don't be talking about Post Malone's numbers.
Yeah.
For what I understand.
Ridiculous.
He passed a Michael Jackson record.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't understand what's so amazing about him.
I have no idea, but like I said, this is a new algorithm that these younger MCs or these younger rappers or these younger trappers or mumblers have adapted, and it resonates. Remember, the numbers with the youth with the phones far exceeds, goddamn it, your 2-year-old Debo Jew for your iPhone XS. Like, the children got them phones and they using them and they're streaming, they're listening to music, they're making impressions and whatnot. Right. They're following people who they deem as the new superstars and things like that. And that's how the wave goes. So, hey.
Well, we about to wrap it up. It's getting late out here, family. Shout out to Apple for coming out with a new phone that's really an old phone, but still call it a new phone.
Legend.
But leave.
Corporate jugging.
Corporate
trapping.
Corporate trapping. Remixing.
Yo,
You know, the art of the remix. You know what I'm saying? Corporations is in on it like shit.
yo,
Retro. We could throw these niggas something retro. Throw a screen on it.
yo, they came out with the same phone, bro.
Why not?
They like, yo, this is the new.
Why
They
not?
like, yo, this is the new phone.
Yeah.
That's why I got the BlackBerry. That's why.
Exactly. No updates.
Yo, leave your contact info, family.
All right.
Yeah. Blue Pillar 44. That's on IG. Blue Pillar 44 at Gmail. That's the Gmail. SoulGoldBiz.com. SoulGoldBiz.com. TwinTheAlbum.com. Apparelnormal.com. What am I leaving out? MyPowerPieces.com. Alright. Peace. Hold on.
Phil T. Moreland at YouTube. Check me out. Melanin Mondays. EL_Filthmore on Instagram. And Red Patreon / Red Pillar. PILLAR. www.twinthealbum.com. www.kingscounty.bigcartel.com.
Yeah. But we still out here with that nutrition, soul, my bad. Righteous chicken, righteous vegan, the cosmic kale. Alright, still out of this world. 138 Willis, between Willis and Alexander. Come and see us. We out here. We out here every day. Peace, love, and light.